Welcome to the channel. Today we are going to talk about the scope of becoming a school counselor. With me is Miss Harshita Verma. Would you please introduce yourself?
Sure. Hello. First of all, thank you, Aakarsh, for having
Pleasure.
me. So I'm Harshita, and I am a Delhi-based child and adolescent psychologist. I've been working in the field for the last few years, and primarily I work with children and adolescents in the school setting, and I'm an RCI licensed psychologist. So yeah, that's about me.
Right. So let's get down to the main question of what is the scope of becoming a school psychologist?
Okay.
Excuse me, counselor.
Um, Yeah, so yes, actually, that's a word that is very interchangeably used in the field. So basically, the scope is very much there because I think slowly schools are recognizing how important it is to have emotional support, team in the school. And if you have a specialization, let's say you have an RCI license like I do, or you have done some sort of training or some diploma, then it is definitely very helpful. The scope is gradually increasing. I think that's the case with all the, different specializations in the field of mental health because mental health in itself is growing. So
Mm.
yeah, so there's a lot of scope, especially if you have specialized training.
So what are the various types of cases that you have to handle on a day-to-day basis?
Okay. So apart from the usual concerns that students come up with, whether it's academic stress or difficulty communicating with a parent,
Mhm.
or yeah, let's say any case of bullying, peer pressure, these are some common concerns that that is being talked about a lot already. But I think some of the concerns that are growing with time is definitely how the social landscape has become very complex
Mm.
now. So there's definitely a conversation around gender identity, sexual
Mm.
orientation, or let's say students might face concerns regarding the stereotypes that they have to face
Mm.
in their families, in the classroom, in the society. So, masculinity, femininity, a lot of that is also, coming, I think, is becoming more prevalent in the counseling cases that I see now.
Okay. So there is a growing trend that PGT teachers are also becoming school counselors. So is that
Yeah.
necessary?
See, I think basic counseling skills training is necessary for, let's say, a teacher or anybody
Mm.
who's working in a school setup. Um, I mean, it's good that they are, trying to expand their horizons and they're trying to get more accustomed to the concerns that the students are facing. But let's be honest that a counselor cannot be replaced.
Yeah.
So, I mean, of course, the teachers should be there and they can really be helpful. Like some of the schools where I've worked in, teachers have really helped me in terms of, connecting with the student or helping me communicate with the parents. So that's definitely there. And it's a good step if the teachers are, getting training in that sort
Mm.
of way. But again, counseling and teaching are two very separate fields. And if a student sees you as a teacher, they
Mm.
might not be able to see you as a counselor in the same
Right.
school if, let's say, you shift your role, because then there will be a conflict of interest.
Mhm.
So that's something that I think we need to be mindful about.
So how do you navigate the conflict of interest when it comes to communicating to parents about something that the child is undergoing that is necessary to be talked about, but without breaking the confidentiality, the dilemma?
Oh, that's a very good question. Yeah, so that's something that, we are trained in a lot because when a so when a child comes to us, let's say they have, they want to tell us something very secret or something that they cannot share with the parent. So when a child enters the counseling room, there's one thing that we always talk about, which is confidentiality. That is, if the child ever tries to, is in some sort of danger or is trying to harm himself or others, then definitely we'll have to take in consideration that, this concern might be shared with the parents, but not in the way that the child is sharing with us, right? So, because counseling is all about safeguarding and is always about, putting the child or the student or the client who comes to us,
Mm-hmm.
as a priority. So we do talk about confidentiality with the adolescents, especially because they take a lot of time in, trusting you as a counselor.
Yeah.
So, in cases like that, we definitely take in confidence the student. We first share that, this is something that needs to be brought to up with your parents, because
Mm-hmm.
at the end, they are your guardians and they need to be we need to keep them in the loop. So we do share it, but in a way that doesn't harm their trust and doesn't break the bond that we have created in the
Right.
counseling session, but also help the parents also understand that what
Mm.
is being shared has come from a very difficult space, and they should also try to sort of respect. And I think it differs from parent to parent also. Sometimes parents are very open, sometimes they are not. So yeah.
Yeah. So, do you also have to counsel teachers?
Oh, yes, that's a big part of being a school counselor, because, I mean, in the school setup, a counselor is not just a counselor.
Mm-hmm.
That's the sad part or the difficult part, not the sad part, but a major, something that a counselor has to adjust with time. So they don't only have to wear the hat of a counselor, they might sometimes be asked to do any administrative work. They might be called to places where they are no longer needed. So that's something that requires a lot of awareness work has to go behind the scenes. And you have to be in touch with the teachers also, because I mean, they do read a lot about disorders and difficulties
Mm-hmm.
that the students are facing. And sometimes they might, put a label. So we have to sort of stop them there that, this is not how we are going to go about. We just have to keep educating them, keep making, a conversation around mental health.
What advice can you give to aspiring psychologists who wants to become a school counselor?
I think apart from having the basic skills, which I'm sure all of them are trained in, they have to be really, they have to learn how to advocate,
Mm-hmm.
not only for the students, but also for themselves. So a lot of time they'll be put in a place where they will be asked to do, let's say, for example, disciplining might be something that they might be asked to do, which is definitely does not come under the, you know, um, roles of a school counselor. So they have to learn how to set boundaries. They have to really work on being an advocate, not only for the students, but for themselves also. And yes, I mean, keep going to places and learning new things and keep yourself updated as much as you can.
So my last question to you is, what kind of services do you provide, and how can one
Mhm.
contact you for them?
Sure. So, I primarily, like I said, I deal with children and adolescents, but I take online sessions with the adult population also. I do have a LinkedIn account by the name of Harshita Verma, and you can contact me there. And apart from that, I have a email ID wherein you can send in any queries. I would love to get in touch with anybody who wants to learn more about school counseling. So, yeah.
It was really special to have you on the platform.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for the opportunity.
It's my pleasure.